So in this one, we're looking at time and height, and we're going to count by what? Fives. So take a look at your first graph, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds just to make your graph on here. So you need to, the X is already labeled, right? The X-axis with time. You need to create the Y-axis for this graph, though. Everyone has one of these, right? So counting by 5, and it goes up to 50. You good? So we're looking at the height of this girl on her zip line. So that's the, just real quick, 15 seconds, right? And what we're doing is we are going to be graphing her elevation at different points throughout this 15 seconds. So now we're going to watch it again in slow motion, and I'm going to let you watch it once in slow motion. You'll notice the numbers at the bottom corner. What are those numbers measuring? Time, the seconds that elapse, right? And so I'm going to play it once without pausing it, then I'll play it again with pauses. So it's slowed down, so you're going to notice it sounds funny. So now, I'm going to back it up, and we're going to watch it one more time, but this time I will pause it as we're going. Okay? So, starting out, here we are at time 0. Now, what we're going to do is create an XY table, because one of the things I noticed is that as you guys were graphing on your quiz, you were trying to go straight to making the lines. And so I would see a lot of things like, you would start graphing and you kind of do this, and then, oh, that wasn't right, and then I'm going to go this way. And it's much easier if you find your points first, and then all you have to do is plot your points. So we're going to make an XY table. I think you have enough room on the side. You don't have enough room on the side?
Yes.
If you don't have enough room on the side, I'm fine with you doing it on a separate sheet of paper. If you do have enough room on the side, then you can just do it there. Alright, at time 0, yes, you can do it in your notebook. We have to figure out what was the elevation. Now, is there anything in this video that tells us elevation?
No.
No, we kind of have to make some inferences based on what our graph is saying, and then also what we know. So, we know that the tallest measurement on our graph, it goes up to 50 meters, right? So, is she starting at 50 meters?
No.
Why do you say no? Savan?
Because you want to start at the high height, because then you'll go off the ground.
Okay.
When we,
Because when she swings higher, right? And so we know that she's not at the highest point yet. So what would be a reasonable guess, Savan, of her height right now, do you think?
maybe about 25.
About 25, so she's about halfway?
25.
I think that's a good estimate. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go with 25. So at time 0, she's at 25 meters. And now we're watching forward. Still at that platform. Okay, so at 5, she jumps off, right? But up until 5, what is her height?
25.
It's at 25. So like the first 5 seconds, her height is 25. So what do we say about that time period?
It's
Constant. Good. Okay. So now we're ready to collect the next data point. So we know that at 5, she jumped off. So at second 6, we would expect a change in her elevation, right?
Yeah.
So let's see where she is. Okay? So at second 6, she is almost at the bottom of her swing, right?
Yep.
And then she's going to start to go back up. So at second 6, what would we say is a good approximation of her elevation?
15.
15, 10, somewhere around there.
15.
So I'm hearing a couple 10s. We think that's a good approximation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me.
Good question. Who can remind Kennedy what the initial measurement was? Carmen?
Meters.
Meters. Good. So it's meters above the ground. Okay. All right. So now we know her elevation is going to do what? Get bigger again, right? Because she's going to start swinging up. So she swings up. We want to find the high point of her swing. Okay. So at 10 seconds, she's at the high point of her swing. So this is kind of the maximum elevation, right? So what do we want to call this?
50.
About 50? I think that's a good approximation.
She up there.
Alright. And then now we know after 10 seconds she's going to do what? She's going to start to decrease. So again, we want to find the low point of her swing.
Right, this one she really get like
Right there. 13.
Right about there at 13? Okay. So at 13,
yeah, she was right by the time.
At 12, she was right there.
at 12 you
Because
think?
now she's
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
back to
okay.
I already realized it'll be right.
I like that. Alright. James, can you set up for me? So then what's her elevation at that point?
About 15.
10.
10. 20.
Here's the question. Is it going to be different than the low point of her first swing?
No.
No, because the rope's the same length, right? So she should still be at 10 there. And then let's check out the last 3 seconds. Does she go all the way back to the platform? No. So at time 15, we know she's probably not going. She's not going back up to 25. What would you say is a good estimate of how high she got?
20.
Around 20?
I think it will go back to what we started.
Did she go as high as we started?
It looks like it.
It went all the way up. It went all the way.
So let's watch the last 5 seconds again and see if she goes back to the platform.
Top of that swirl.
So there's the bottom of 12. So it's
I think
pretty close, yeah. Does she get to the platform, does it look like? No. Not at time 15, right? So at 15 seconds, she's not up to that platform. Whether she swings a little higher, maybe, but we don't really know from these 15 seconds. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. Take a minute with your partner and please plot those points to get the graph.